Welcome everybody to episode 9 of the GrowCast Show. I have with me today Reihana Abdullah. She is the 7 Steps Mind Power Coach. And Rihanna, important question for you. What does being better than normal mean to you?
Better than normal means to be able to leave behind whatever setbacks, whatever you have had in your life, your shame, your guilt, your pain, your hurt, your betrayals, whatever it is, and to be able to move past that and to, go beyond that and become the person that you want to be. And in that process, inspire others to be able to do the same.
Very beautifully said. I'm learning so much from all the answers. And Rihanna, for you, what makes you better than normal?
I wouldn't say better than normal. I would say beyond the normal, because I always believe in doing something additional. I have this philosophy called 102%. 102% because in the Olympics, the difference between the first place and the second place winner is only 2%. And if everybody just put that 2% extra in everything they do, whether it's play, whether it's work, whether it's with their children, relationships, just that 2%, and it's really going to make that difference. And that's how I see being better than normal.
I like it, and I agree with you. 1%, 2%, that's the difference between a gold medal and a silver medal, right?
Yeah.
Rihanna, let us go back to your origin. What is your origin story, and how did you become the 7 Steps coach?
Usually in life is, if you think of all the motivational speakers and everybody that's come up, they had a backstory, and they went through some suffering and some betrayal, some pain, some hurt. And I ended up in hospital, almost paralyzed. My relationships with my family was not going well. I was financially in a very bad state. And, when one area of your life is not going well, somehow it just penetrates to every area of your life. And I ended up in a hospital almost being paralyzed with this thing called cauda equina syndrome, which is tailbone has shifted and it's pressing on my nerves. And I could only walk 7 minutes before I had to stop. And the pain was from my hip to like electric shocks running from my hips to my feet. And I had to introspect my life. Why did I end up here? At one point, I kind of lost my identity in trying to be a mother, a wife, and, because I stopped work. And I stopped work willingly, not that I was forced to, but it became insanely that was my routine. And I know I'm made better than that. I'm made to do more than that. And I felt bad with myself that, I couldn't be that, achieve that. And at that point, I lost my identity. And then I took some personal development courses and I tried to improve my life. But it was still not getting me to where I wanted to be. Inside, I was still not complete. So then I met my coach that was a mindset coach. And going through that workshop with him and the training, and I realized, wow, I was trying to put a Band-Aid on my wound outside, but the pain was inside. How do you Band-Aid inside? And then I realized actually it's within you that you have to change your thinking, your paradigm has to change, your mindset has to change. And only when that changes, everything else will change. And the universe actually, as they say, it collaborates with you. Whatever you're thinking, it actually gives you back whatever you're thinking. And that was like a wow for me. And I turned my life around from there. And then I realized that many people have this problem and many people are not able to get out of the situation. They seem fine on the outside, but inside they're in turmoil. I always have this in my workshop where we have the iceberg, the top of the iceberg, and it's huge, but what is below is even bigger. And that is how we are as humans. We actually have so much inside, so much pain, shame, all from our childhood, from negative thinking and all that. And that brings us to where we don't want to be. And that's when I decided that that's going to be my mission. I want to do this. I want to help people out and find their power, awaken that power that same like me. And that became make them limitless and unstoppable, because I believe everybody has that potential.
I agree with you, and I love the origin story that you have and the name 7 Steps as well. What exactly are the 7 steps that you guide your clients through?
Okay, so I have a wheel and it goes through the thing. So initially we start with the incident or whatever problem they are facing at that moment. And then we try to find some insight, because usually whatever is going inside your mind or inside your body, there is a physical, outcome. And it usually manifests in your body in some part, like some pain or some kind of, unexplained pain, or it could be heart problems, anything like that. So, and we try to dig further into it, and then we try to investigate and see where is the emotional attachment to this problem. And it's always emotional. It is. Even, anything. There is an emotional component, and it gets embedded in our body. And then we try to find out what are the impacts that is causing in your life, that you can't do something, or you can't get a promotion, or your relationships are in turmoil, anything, or you can't, get that health that you want. Why? And that usually we will reflect back, and you will pinpoint a story in your childhood that gives you this problem. And then we move on past that, and we have some exercises after that to be able to let go. And that is really, really powerful exercise where we learn to release that. And once you release that, you find that it's easier to move on in your life. And then you are inspired in the end to come up with something for yourself, and to see that change that you wanted to see. And that's the whole 7 steps process.
And Rihanna, we know what made you the 7 steps coach. Maybe we go a little bit deeper into that. What is step 1 of the transformational wheel?
Okay, so step 1 would be the incident that you're currently facing. It could be like, let's say you're not having a breakthrough in your career, or let's say you're facing some health challenges, or let's say you are in toxic relationships. So we're going to identify what exactly is the problem at that point of time. And that will be step 1, identifying that.
Very nice. And what is step 2 of the transformation wheel?
So step 2 would be to get some insight into it. And usually when there's a problem, it usually manifests in your body somewhere as a physical ailment, or maybe you could be having some neck pain, some palpitation out of the blue, or it could be something that's been ongoing for a while, but you can't really explain it, and a doctor says you're fine, just take some Panadol, but actually there is something going on, because our bodies are like rivers, flowing. Energy flows in our body like a river would flow. And if that gets stuck somewhere due to pollution, so we call this emotional pollution, like if there's a lot of garbage in the river, it gets stuck, right? And the water cannot flow. So same thing happens to our body. And whenever there's energy stuck somewhere in your body, it will accumulate and it will pollute that part, and it will infect the parts surrounding it. So let's say you have been badly hurt or betrayed by someone, and usually then your heart will start having some issues and things like that. And, maybe suddenly you have some pain, you go to the doctor, they say it's fine, but there is something actually stuck there. And that is what we want to figure out what it is.
And that was step 2. What is step 3 of the transformation wheel?
So step 3, we would investigate where this pain or this thing came from. And we will ask you to actually reflect back, and there's usually one incident, probably in your childhood, and it could be as young as 3, 5, and you will remember it. What happens is our body never forgets anything. Our body remembers everything that happens to us, even in our womb especially as well. So that's something surprising for a lot of people. And but the problem is, we as a conscious mind, we try to not think about that problem, or we try not to bring it up because it's painful. So consciously we put it aside, but unconsciously it's there, and it is actually running your life. It is actually running the programming that you are. Let's say you have a fear of public speaking. So if you go back and investigate, probably when you were young, you were laughed at for speaking in public, and that you were shamed, and that trauma, I would say, has been stuck with you, and you are going, and your mind says, I'm not going to do this again. And so moving forward in your life, 20 years later, you are in a boardroom and you don't want to speak because you have that trauma still embedded. So we're going to investigate that and find out where exactly it came from. It could be a number of incidents.
And step 3 was investigate. What is step 4 of the transformation wheel?
Okay, so step 4, we would try to interpret what you were thinking at that time when you faced that trauma. So you see, usually, as I say, it's in a childhood, and a child's mind is not mature enough to process the situation as an adult would. So we go back to that 3-year-old, 5-year-old child, and that 5-year-old child has interpreted this incident in a certain way. My parents don't love me because they gave the sweet to my brother instead of me. Or my mother said no to me. And that is a trauma. And they interpret it that I'm not being loved. I'm not good enough. I'm not, people don't like me. I have something wrong with me. And that is embedded in them. So we need to clear that, and we need to find out how it has impacted you. And then,
Makes perfect sense. Perfect sense.
Right.
And that was interpret. And what is step 5 of the transformation wheel?
So step 5 would be the impact it's causing your life right now. So again, back to, let's say, public speaking, and you're up for promotion. You've really done your work and your research, and you've done that PowerPoint presentation, but you're not able to give that presentation. You suddenly have a stomachache. See, your mind is an amazing thing. It's like a sentry. If it does exactly what you want to do, and it moves towards pleasure and away from pain. So this is painful, and you're not going to do it. And you suddenly develop a stomach ache, and your mind said, oh, you don't want to do this? Let me give you a stomach ache right now. And then you are stuck in the toilet, and your friend has to give that presentation, and he gets that promotion, and you lose out, although you did all the work. And that's going to impact your life. And you're going to, So really, we need to see what that impact is causing you.
And that's a very powerful impact, right?
Yeah, sorry.
So that was step 5. What is step 6 of the transformation wheel?
So step 6, we are going to intervene. Again, as I said, that you interpreted that incident, the person interpreted that incident from that child's mind. So now we're going to go in and see, is that valid? So there'll be 3 questions that'll be asked, Is it true that your mother didn't love you when she said no? Is it real? And are you sure that what you interpreted was exactly? Now you're doing it from an adult point of view. And you're going to see that actually it was not valid. My mom said no because it was this situation. And now you are able to, rationalize why your mom said no. And that will give you a more sort of a feeling that, okay, it's not my fault. Again, another thing like, parents divorce and the child feels it's their fault. Or some parents may blame their child. And that is something that the child holds on to, that because of me, my parents divorced. My father doesn't love me. And so we want to say that parents were already having issues. They were already fighting. Now you rationalize that and you understand that it's not your fault. And you can move on from that. That is how it is.
And that was step 6. And we have got step 7 of the 7 steps. What is the final step? What is step 7 of the transformation wheel?
So it actually transits to the part where we are able to do an exercise and able to release this blame, shame, guilt, fear that you have. And we will do a powerful exercise where we will be able to really let go of the incidents. So, and it's called the icicle exercise. And that is another powerful. It's a very simple exercise, but it's very powerful, and it really will be able to help you to release that. And then you will be inspired what you want to do next. Let's say that relationship problem that you had, or your other health problem that you had, what you want to do about it. What can you do now about it? And how can you improve on that? And that is the final step, inspiration. You'll be able to dream bigger, want bigger, achieve bigger.
And I like that. I like the fact that all of them start with the letter I.
Yeah.
And Rihanna, how did you come up with the 7 steps? Is it something that you came up with? Is it something that you learned somewhere? Tell us about how did you come up with the 7 steps?
So the 7 steps is actually, again, I was doing a lot of personal development, trying to get myself out of my issues. And I went through many different coaches and all that. And I fit together this the things that worked for me, and I realized to make it simplified, because if it's too complicated, people won't be able to do it. And I don't want it. And I'm a very practical person. We don't need to go therapy for years and years. We want to get that sharp to the point and get it fixed right now. And so I wanted to simplify it. And one of the programs I did, and I combined it with a few other things and came up with this 7 steps program.
No, I love it. I like it as well. And thank you for sharing with us about the 7 steps, Rihanna.
Yeah.
So, Rihanna, maybe I want to ask you, how are you different from other practitioners?
Okay, how I'm different is because, again, I said I do not want to be in therapy for years, and it takes too long, and repeating my whole story again, it doesn't help you at all. It's like kind of like gossiping here and gossiping there, and then trying to tell people, okay, I have this problem. This one did that to me. This person did that for me, cheated me, and this and that and all that. And you keep repeating, you're not solving it. We want to let it go. We want to release it from our system so that we can do a lot of good thinking and, be inspirational to ourselves and to others in our life. And I think one of the things, again, is I believe simple, easy, practical, something that you can do right now and get it done. That's what I prophesize, so-called. And I want that. And that's how I differentiate myself from others.
And let's talk about that as well. So how fast can someone see results, right, after working with you?
If it's not a deep embedded problem, immediately. I challenge people to a 7-minute challenge. I can even do 90 seconds.
Shall we do that as well?
Would you like to try it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. So
maybe I can talk about that as well. So Rihanna, I know people usually get results with you in 7 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Are you able to get results in 90 seconds?
Possible. It's possible, definitely. Why not I challenge you to that?
Perfect. Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. So let's, what do you want to work on? Stress, procrastination, anxiety.
Yeah, anxiety. Yeah, so I'm just about to become a dad next month.
Right.
So maybe nervousness and anxiety, excitement. Yeah.
Okay. So I do this thing called EFT Tapping, and I'll teach you the points, and you just follow me, actually. Okay.
Sure.
So let's start with the karate chop point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you say, even though I'm very anxious about being a new father, I choose to embrace this now. Even though I feel whether I'll be a good father, I'm willing to work on it now. And even though I feel nervous about it, I deeply and completely accept myself. So here we go. So we're going to start with the negative. Anxious. Just repeat it a few times. Just follow me.
Okay.
Anxious. Anxious. Okay, let's go to the side of the eye. Okay, I'm anxious, I'm worried. Okay, you can, if you want to add something, you can add. You say, I'm feeling nervous. I don't know whether I'll be a good father.
I'm feeling stressed. I'm feeling nervous.
Very good. Under the eye, continue.
I'm feeling stressed. I'm feeling nervous.
I'm
anxious.
Yeah.
I'm anxious. I'm nervous. I'm stressed.
Okay, under the nose. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Under the chin. Even though I feel this way, I choose to let go of this feeling right now. Okay, this is the collarbone. Just tap either one or two or anyway. I want to release this right now. I embrace myself as a good father. And I believe I will be the best father I can be. And I choose to allow that to happen to me. Okay, under your armpit. Okay, tap. I accept my role. I will grow into my role. And I will embrace this role. And I feel great about this. And I know I will make the best damn father. And I love being that. And I love to see myself and my child.
And I love to see myself and my child.
Okay, take a deep breath in. Release. One more deep breath in. And release. And a third one. Inhale positivity. Exhale everything else. When you're ready, come back to the room. Okay, so how do you feel now?
Relaxed,
Okay.
very relaxed and calm. I feel calm. I think calm is the word.
Right.
And it was powerful stuff. It was
Right.
really, really powerful stuff.
Actually,
I
I
think.
missed out on thing. You're supposed to tell me what is your anxiety level at the beginning, and then at the end of it, what's your anxiety level?
No worries.
Yeah.
So at least, I mean, we got
Yeah,
the main
right.
part of it as well. But definitely, I feel there's a difference. I feel a lot.
So initially, when
calmer.
you started, how was
Maybe
your
I would
level?
say I went from an anxiety level of 8 to I bring it down to a 3.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So you can repeat this cycle a few times, or you can repeat it at a later time, and you can just do it. And we start with the negative because we want to acknowledge. A lot of therapists tell you to ignore and just think about the positive, but we want you to address because we want you to recognize that this is a part of you, and you're allowed to feel anger, pain, hurt, or any kind of emotion because this is human. And you need to acknowledge that. And when you give yourself permission to acknowledge that, you actually allow your body to relax as well and say that this is normal. And I can be better than normal now, and move beyond that.
I like it. I think it was very helpful. And my first time trying it out.
Yeah.
And definitely it was a new experience. But yes, I can feel the calmness inside me as well. Thank you so much, Rihanna, for that. And Rihanna, maybe we talk about a myth. What is a common myth, right, that people have about mirror tapping?
Okay, so mirror tapping is I do like to combine different kind of modalities together because they work synergistically and they actually work faster. As I said, I like fast results. So I actually came up with this mirror tapping, which is Louise Hay's program, and together with the tapping program. And a lot of people don't have the ability to look at themselves in the mirror because they have so much shame, guilt, or pain again. And mirror tapping actually breaks that ice, and it actually helps you. You do the same tapping sequence, but you do it looking at the mirror in your own eyes. And it sometimes takes a few sessions because people, again, because of their embedded pain is too much, they cannot look into the eyes. You need time to break that. So this modality works. A lot of people think it's woo-woo, or people fear something they do not know, and they discount it if they, as it doesn't work. It's just one time off, but it works. And that is something that I want to bring to people, that something simple, easy can work and help you release that pain. So people are skeptical about that.
I think it's about educating them, right? And that's why you are here today.
Right.
And that's why education is very, very important. And for yourself, Rihanna, what are some of the results that you have gotten for your clients?
Okay, the one that comes to mind really, really strongly is this lady. She was almost 60 years old. She came to my workshop. She did my 4-hour program. And with all the releasing exercise and going through the whole process, she felt as if she had an incident when she was 5, living with her extended family, and that traumatized her. And after that whole exercise and releasing, she said it was as if a stone or a boulder had been lifted from her. And that was like so powerful. And just that one session. And I could see like she felt lighter, her shoulders were up, and it was something amazing. And another guy who had, again, that feeling of I'm not good enough. And he had to be perfect. He does a lot of videos, but he had to be perfect. His hair had to be good. Otherwise he felt like not good enough again. So after that, he realized that, it's something that he doesn't have to feel that way. He could let go of that as well. So these are 2 that really come to mind.
Very powerful stuff. Rihanna, what advice would you give to someone who is feeling stressed and stuck in life?
Okay, a lot of things we hold on to ourselves because we feel that people will judge us. And that is something that we need to accept, that, again, we are human. We are allowed to feel all our emotions, whether they are no bad or good emotions. They're just emotions that you feel at that time, and you need to accept and embrace that. And when you accept all of you, that is already a breakthrough. I have this quote that I came up with: when all the broken parts of you and all the beautiful parts of you can come together in inner harmony, that is what we want in our life.
I like that quote. It's very, very beautiful indeed. Thank you, Rihanna. And before we go, Rihanna, maybe one last one last question I want to ask you. Who are you currently looking to help? So maybe you can just look into the camera and share, who are you currently looking to help?
So I would say three kinds of people. One would be someone who is looking for a breakthrough, who are doing well, but they're stuck somewhere. Second one would be someone who wants to break free from something of their past, or something that is really stuck in them, and they just want to release that pain or that hurt or the whatever it is, shame, guilt, fear. Usually it's these four emotions. And the third person would be someone on the verge of a breakdown and doesn't know what to do because they're just lost. And I really want to help all these people come out of that and really find their limitless, unstoppable self. Because everyone has that gift. Everyone has that in them. We just need to bring it out. And I want to support them in this process.
I like it. I like the break free, breakthrough, and breakdown.
Yes.
Very nicely said as well. And thank you so much, Rihanna, for being here. That was episode 9 of the GrowCast Show. I'll see you all real soon for the next few episodes coming real soon. Thank you, Rihanna.
Thank you.